Hey guys, welcome to your Fridays in your maxAllure week. I hope that you're having a great day. Here we are with Dr. Denise Baker at the Saha Vida Institute in Sarasota, Florida, and we're very excited. We're going to be talking to you about what transformation has she achieved in the last couple of months, just 2 months of being in our mastermind. But before we do that, I want to invite you and remind you that we have that podcast called Design Your Physician Life, and actually Dr. Baker and Dr. Eileen Cáceres were there earlier this week. So I invite you to go and listen to their story about how they've changed their lives, about where they were before as physicians and where they're now just in just a couple of months. So go there, Design Your Physician Life podcast, and listen to that. In the interim, I hope that you're having a great week. Remember to do #live, #replay. And we hope that you share this. We wanted to talk today about this experience because we know that there are many physicians out there who feel overwhelmed, they feel trapped. They might be working in systems that really have put a lot between them and their patient care that they want to provide. And this is why we're doing this effort. Through our podcast, we're able to bring a lot of options for physicians who want to learn about other ways of making their dream of still be a physician or not a reality, and how other physicians have done it. And then we also bring tools for that. I'm Dr. Diaz Ramirez. I'm the creator of the maxAllure Mastermind. It's a physician program. It's a personal development program for physicians, and we meet for 6 months, and we actually have one program starting up in a couple of months at the end of May. So I invite you, if you're interested, come and visit our website, maxallure.com, maxallure. And let's talk right now with Dr. Baker. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I am looking forward to the opportunity to speak to other physicians who actually are in a situation that they may not have expected when they put in their medical school application, or when they finished residency, when they started in their career as a physician. Are you now where you thought you would be, and do you have the level of satisfaction and joy that you remember experiencing when you went through training and when you opened up your practice? And that has been a huge transition for me, because over the course of more than 30 years, the joy actually took a second seat to the how we do what we do. And that was something that was never focused on when we were in school, in training, in residency, or fellowship, was the how. It was getting through and making our form of medicine fit into their form of documentation. So where is the joy that you had when you started medicine, and when did the requirements of documentation supplant the joy? And that's why this program has been a huge eye-opener. And I look at and in reflection, I look back at where I thought I was, and I'm up on the top level, doing well with my practice, and things change. And I went down a floor, and down another floor, and down another floor, until the point that I actually sold my practice, was hired back, but it was not a supportive environment. And at that point, it was only, not am I having joy, and not am I doing what I need to be doing for my patients, but it is a strict rule of documentation. And that's not why we started in medicine. If I wanted to be a person who was a documenter or a reviewer, I would have gone into that level of business. That's not why I'm here. That's not where I feel that my strengths are, and that's not where I feel my talents are. I like the one-on-one interaction. I like the face-to-face work with our patients, and that's where the joy comes in. So the transition has been where I had gone down, 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 and then I was at a point where I didn't really experience much joy with a practice, even in the additional levels that I did. And it was only in talking and meeting with Mordalis Diaz that I really said, oh my gosh, here is a way for me to go into my head and change in a way that will be meaningful to me, the person, but also me, the physician. And it's in that order. It's important to me, the person, and to me, the physician. So it meant that wasn't a career ender for me when we met again, but it was a career opener for me in a way that I could not have imagined. So what it has done is, think back about your psychiatry rotation, how we talk to patients about opening up their mind, looking at, reviewing, evaluating, and actually going through a process in their brain. Well, that's kind of what you do with us. She is the mastermind psychiatrist, really directing us to recognize that we, the person, we, the individual, have value in a way that we haven't talked about, or that I hadn't talked about with my colleagues for over 30 years, and a way of evaluating what I do and how I do it that has been critical. And so in just a few short weeks, I have a renewed sense of great emotion, a renewed sense of hope, and without saying I'm looking at the end of my career, I'm looking at the opening of my career. It is not the terminal disease, but it is the opening for the rest of my life. So
I'm excited for saying that. I cannot believe.
And the other thing that I've noticed is that I had lost a lot of the joy, the enthusiasm, the optimism, the approachability, and was just rather flat. I could get excited episodically, but taking my whole emotions up multiple floors, up many, many floors in a few short weeks.
I swear, I didn't give her a script.
I'm just sharing with you what my emotions and thought process have been, and where I have come, and where I know I'm going. So I have a number of other things that are going on that are less than optimal, less than positive. And you know that backpack that we all wear that has all of our stuff in it back there? My backpack may be loaded as much, but it is many pounds lighter because it's not the heavy, heavy burden that it was before.
I'm glad you're saying that.
My backpack is lighter.
Well, let's take a little bit and tell people about where you come from, because to me it's very special that you're saying these things. I really feel touched right now, very honored. You've been a mentor, so for those who don't know this, Dr. Baker, there's something called the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, and that's where we learn a lot of what we do in functional medicine, and with that there's a lot of learning of aesthetics, cosmetics, and Dr. Baker has taught a significant amount of those courses through the years. So she's been a physician who's not only had her practice, has had sold it. She sold it successfully within the confinements of selling a practice to somebody else, and she's been in medicine for so many years, and we've seen the transition of medicine to her. You've seen some more than what I have seen. And within that, for you to say that you were at a point where you consider like retirement, you've shared that with your patients, your community, and now coming out of retirement, but not only coming out of retirement, not necessarily with a need, but with joy, as you're saying.
Absolutely. The joy, the excitement, the fun that we had, not maybe as much in medical school, or perhaps you saw a little bit of that when we were in clinicals, but absolutely in residency. Every day was a new day in residency, and it can be that way for you again. Every day can be a really great day.
So if we're talking to people about, what is this? Is this like crazy voodoo, or you're saying they're going to be the psychiatrist, or they're going to be the counselor, the guidance counselor, or doing a mastermind? Let's talk about some elements that might put into perspective to people what we're able to do through a mastermind that we're not able to normally do in our daily lives as physicians. Which sort of things have you seen that have given or started to build that framework so that you can say, you know what, this is looking like I can be optimistic again. I can really like what I'm doing in medicine again. Are there any more objective things that you can say, you know what, we talked about X or Z, or I saw this, or I'm experiencing this thing that you really see in a mastermind?
There's been an interesting process that we've gone through. And I will say that for many, many years in practice, I didn't set aside time to think, to ponder, to self-review. I would think about what am I going, where am I going, but that introspection part has been absent for a long time. Now, some of you may be very different than I am, and you may still do that, but I did not. I had lost that. And this program did a number of things. Number one, it legitimized my thinking time, because think about it, we started in medicine and then we became more and more and more robotic because it was more and more and more about what we did on the computer or on a piece of paper. And it's not the robotic approach to a patient, it's the personal approach to the patient, and it's the personal approach to everybody in our lives, all the people we come in contact with, whether it's someone we work with, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's someone that we meet at the grocery store. For a while, every time I went to the grocery store, it could never be a quick trip because I was ran into people I knew, and it was a real honor, but quick trips were not there. But we didn't take the time out of our busy schedule because we're so busy doing to think. And that's what this does. It legitimizes, number one, we need time to think. Number two, we need time to look and say, what is it we really want? Number three, it gives you a sense of accountability to other physicians that are going through the same thing you are. And you can say, I don't need any accountability and I don't need any reporting to anybody else. But think about what you say to your patients. Your patients will actually get more out of your therapeutic evaluation when you have them write things down, when you have them log it down, when you have them keep a calendar. We're simply applying those very same principles to our learning as seasoned physicians. It's actually giving us the framework, the accountability, recognizing the joys and the wins, recognizing the things we need to work on, and setting not just a long-term plan, but a short-term plan and the steps in between, to the point that you can literally visualize it up on a vision board. And so we are creating the vision board. Every one of us creates a vision board. What is it we want to see? And remember, it is words that will have an effect on our thoughts, and our thoughts have an effect on our words. So it maintains that very tight relationship that we know changes brain hormones.
Is there anything about the type of physician who's coming to this group? What sort of, how would you describe the company that you have in this group in terms of physicians?
You're going to be fascinated because there is not one type of physician that's here. And you can't divide it into a medical or surgical group. You can't divide it into an office-based or a organization-owned. We are all individuals, and some of us in the group are just starting our careers. Others have been in the career for years, and in my case, decades and decades and decades. But it is from all different areas of medicine, and it's men and women, but it's all the professions that are coming forward and saying, I want to learn to be a better me, a healthier me, a stronger me.
So one of the things that we do is that we have physicians from all over. We have physicians from Puerto Rico all the way to Hawaii right now in our cohort, which is pretty exciting. So it makes for all the times of the day, right? They're participating, and we have different challenges with that. We do go through some modules, so there's different things that we teach. We have, which is based on previous cohorts that we had for physicians for what they wanted to learn. So our pillars are basically those of mind. First, developing your vision, then we have mindset, then we have wellness, we have lifestyle, we will have finance, we haven't even gotten there yet, and business aspects. And then we try to bring experts for where those physicians, where their physicians need help with. And we've had a series of experts coming by. And would you like to say anything about any of them that you met that were, maybe something impressive, something that really touched you, something like you said, oh my goodness, I didn't know that about this, or I was going to learn about this other thing. Anybody that you've met already?
We've met a number of people, and it is better than preschool was as a child, and it's better than kindergarten, and it's better than all the grades put together, because it's the areas of medicine that medicine did not focus on. All of those lessons that we didn't really imbibe. So it is truly listening to a professional talk about starting a setup of a practice and how to make it work through not just patient to patient, but also the focus, your expertise, but also making sure that you support the business from the bottom up. There is not one expert, and she has managed to pull in a tremendous panel of experts. But there's not one expert that doesn't hold multiple morsels of information for you. They talk about transforming your practice, transforming your mindset, helping you at the financial level to see what you need to see. Every single expert speaker we've had touched me in a way that I didn't know I needed. So it wasn't as if it was overtly, I want this. I mean, I strongly need the mindset medicine where I am in my career, but every person that Mordalis Diaz has brought in has touched me from an informational and a supportive standpoint. That's all they want to do, is help you be a better you.
We had a couple of guests this time that I'm super excited about all of them. We had one, she's actually a partner of mine, and she's a physician, and she's handling over $400 million in assets, and she's my partner, and she's doing medicine. And we talked purely about syndications, how to do that, and then how to use your 401k, and we talked about all those things that we learned that, that should not really be taught, and how to make it better for us. We also had this wonderful non-physician a guest coach who taught us about how to build your YouTube channel. This guy, I don't know if you guys know who The Rock is, or who Mark Hart is, or who what's the name, Selena, not Selena, no, who's the guy, the lady, Serena Williams. My goodness. So he's been in charge of all their YouTube channels. And this guy came to coach one of our physicians who really wanted to do a YouTube channel, how to do that. And not only that, guy gave the time to us, and he's also had some extra time for coaching one of our physicians, that physician in particular, one-on-one. And he's also building some information for us so that all of us can grow together and grow and do our YouTube channels if that's what we wanted to do. We also have so many other things pending that are not necessarily only about your clinic. We had somebody help us, somebody wanted to build a clinic, so we're going to be talking about that. We have somebody who's going to come to help another one of our physicians who wants to build a career in fashion, and they're going to come and help her. So we have a lot of things. It's only 2 months. Is there something in particular that you're looking forward? We're just 1/3 down of the mastermind. Is there something in particular that you're looking for within the next modules that we have coming up? Something that you might have think, or you just, you're here for whatever comes?
I am to a degree here for whatever comes, but I need more help with mindset medicine and creating my vision. I also need more financial support, and that I know is being rolled out. That is coming as well. But the other thing that I think it's building that nobody really talks about is our other physicians that are in this group. I believe that I'll be in contact with them for many years to come. And so it's actually like reaching out across the country, reaching out across the world, so that we can maintain these fellowships that we started as a little tiny seed right here with maxAllure.
Well, guys, I have to tell you that it wasn't the intent of this, but my current 2 partners, they came from our mastermind. We have physicians who have partnered. Right now, from our last mastermind, there were 3 physicians who are now working a business together. I'm so proud of them. They're interventional pain doctors, and they're rocking it out with their current business. They have done webinars together. When they travel to all these conferences, they're acquiring clients for their business. I'm super proud of them. And they really came together through the mastermind. We went to a wedding, actually. I tell my kids, don't trust people you meet online. And all these people were meeting them online, right? They're coming from all over the country. And it turns out that we ended up going to a wedding for one of our members, and we had only seen each other in the mastermind meeting, for 6 months, once a week. We become very close, and we learn a lot from each other. And the first time we saw each other was at their wedding. It was like something out of a TV show, where you meet online, and then there you go, and you're there suddenly together. And it was so wonderful, because we truly build relationships that are really gonna, and we grow. we really want to avoid burnout. And we found that entrepreneurship really is a great tool to avoid or treat burnout. That's been my case, and that's why we created these resources for physicians. And I'm really thankful that you're here. You haven't only been present in my life as a mentor, you are now present in my life as one of our physicians in our clinic and now a member of our mastermind. So I want to thank you for the opportunity for having us.
And thank you for your hand of friendship and your hand of guidance in the next stage of my life.
Thank you. Anything else you want to tell to the guys who are watching?
I really want you to come join us. Think really seriously that you have tremendous value that you may not have realized or you might have lost over the years. This is the way for you to bring this forward in your brain, in your heart, in your behavior, in your life. That's what maxAllure does for you. It will change your life.
Well, thank you. And thank you, guys. So remember, #live, #replay. You can go to our website. It's maxallure.com, maxallure. We have our next podcast coming up next week. You don't want to miss that. Listen to the podcast this week from Design Your Physician Life, where we had the full story for not only Dr. Denise Baker, but also Dr. Eileen Cáceres, who's also in our mastermind. Both of them, turns out that they're both GYN, cosmetic surgeons, not planned, but here they are. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be like partnering for life pretty soon, starting pretty soon. So we're very excited. If we can have change for our lives as physicians, so can you. That's the way that we're seeing. You just have to see it. Or do you see it surrounding yourself with people who are like you, who have been there with the struggles the same the way that you've been. We've been training in the same way. We've been transitioning in the same way together. The system really doesn't work for us. If you cannot join our mastermind, at least listen to our podcast, Design Your Physician Life, and also in your lives, go around. If you see any other physicians who are really happy, go and join them. Go the ones who are happy, ask them what they're doing, and become and do your little groups around. You can do this, you can grow. It's something that is out there. The other things that I invite you to do is that there's tons of groups, because they have helped me, and I'm part of them, that are on Facebook, social media, where physicians are coming together. There has been never a better time for physicians to help each other. And I think that this will help you with your mindset. This will help you to see things that, even though you might have a painful life right now because of so many challenges that we're having, there's no need to suffer. We know that we've learned that there's no need to suffer, and that's optional. We know that there's help. We know that there's physicians who are really out there sharing their knowledge and who will support us. And you just have to be there, present, and ask.
This is your gift to you, is what this is.
Exactly. That's it. And don't let anybody else take care of your life. Take care of it on your own. If you're frustrated because the hospital said this, or the employer said that, or the insurance said this other thing, those are things that are going to become secondary once you establish your vision, once you know what your principles are, once you know your options. And we can teach those in the maxAllure Mastermind, because we've done it so, grateful for so many physicians. We're very happy. We want to share that. If you want, you can reach me through social media. And once again, Design Your Physician Life podcast and maxallure.com. Have a great weekend. Happy holidays to whoever is celebrating this special week here and around the world. And I'll see you then next week.
Bye-bye.